Okay. Good morning, guys. So today I'm going to be starting out. I'm going to be starting out with CorelDRAW tools and Workspace. So CorelDRAW tools and Workspace. So basically, when you click on your CorelDRAW icon, either on your desktop or wherever you have it, this is the first environment that it brings you to. It brings you to the welcome screen. I hope you can see this. It brings you to the welcome screen. Now, very quickly, I'm going to be showing you some of the tools that are featured with CorelDRAW. So when you want to start designing, you go to New Document. You click on New Document, and then you have this pop-up menu here where you have your name, preset destination, size, width, height, number of pages, primary color mode, rendering resolution, preview mode, etc. Now for your name, let's say you want to design T logo, T logo, T logo. Yeah, all you have to do is to type the name of what you want to design, so that of course you can make reference to it later. Yeah, and then you go to leave the preset destination as custom. Most times you don't change it, just leave it as custom. Now for the size, there are various paper sizes here on CorelDRAW, but instead of stressing out, except you have like custom a custom dimension for your work, you can easily just use A4 or A5. We'll be using A4 in this, so A4. Now for the A4 size, it is 210.0 millimeters by 297.0 millimeters. That is the custom size for an A4 sheet. Now, however, if you have a customized sheet, you can easily just come here. You can easily just come here and type whatsoever you want, whatever number you want. Just type it down, and then it becomes your own customized. Whatever you type will be reflected on your workspace. But like I said earlier, we'll be using A4, so we'll stick to that. Now this is for your horizontal portrait or landscape resolution. It means that when you use a portrait, it has this vertical form, while this landscape has the horizontal form. We're not going to be changing now, we're going to be leaving that on the vertical form. Of course, you can always change it at any point in your design. Number of pages, you leave it at 1. You can always increase that when you start working. Now primary color mode, the default is usually RGB, so do not change it. You can just keep working on RGB. It is like the default color mode. Rendering resolution 300 dpi, you could leave it at 300 dpi. Better still, you could still change this while you are exporting your file. So not to waste your time, you can leave every other feature here on custom. Do not touch. Just change the name, change your size, and then boom, you can click on OK. Yeah, so now this is what the CorelDRAW workspace looks like. This is what the CorelDRAW space look like. Very interesting, right? The first time I started CorelDRAW, it was quite not so friendly for me. I didn't find the CorelDRAW environment so friendly at all. It had a lot of distracting tools, and I didn't really find it friendly. But along the line, I picked up the challenge and I started to learn CorelDRAW. So follow me as we do this together. Now, first off, we have the file here. Under the file, you have some other tools, new from template, open. Now new is when you want to create a new document. You could easily do that with your control N. New from template is when you want to use the template to create a new file. Open recent, blah blah blah, as the name implies. Now I won't be going through all of them because most times I don't even get to come to this file folder, because most of the things here are either not useful to me at the time, or they can easily be performed by a shortcut. If you want a new document, you just simply press Ctrl New, and another pop-up menu comes in where you type in your name, the name of the file you're working on, the size, and every other detail. So I usually don't use it. Next up here is Edit. Under Edit, we have Undo Manager, Paste Special, Clone, Step and Repeat. Now also for this Edit menu, I usually don't use it because most of the items there can be easily done with your shortcuts like the Ctrl V, paste, Ctrl C, etc. Now note that some of the items under this edit menu are not active. That is because I have not done anything. Once I start working on a design or something that is relevant to the items on this menu, then they will become active. But once you see any inactive item on any menu, it just means that what you are working on does not affect it or cannot be applied to it. I hope you get that. Now we proceed to view. Now we also have some interesting tools here, which most of the time I do not use, again because I can perform them through shortcuts. Now for instance, you're making a design. Now let's pick full screen preview, for instance, which are the shortcuts with F9. Now let's say I'm making a design here and I want to get a fuller glimpse of my work. All I need to do is to press F9 and this comes out. Now I see a fuller picture of my design. Now when we start designing, you get this better. Yeah, so that's basically it. Now layout. For layout, we have insert page, duplicate page, rename page. Now all this can be performed down here, so I really don't come up here to do all those. Insert page number settings, page setup, page background, blah blah blah. Now when you come here, you can easily right click and rename your page. You can rename your page. So we have this as T logo. So we have, can you see here, we have renamed the page to T logo. So when we have numerous pages, for instance, you could identify, okay, T logo is on this page. So it's very easy for you to identify the page where your work is when you rename it. Let's proceed. So we go to objects. Also, I don't find most of these items relevant, so I usually don't come around here. Now effects. For effect, we have the adjust, transform, the corrections. Note, most of the items here are inactive because we have not started work yet. Now when we start work, you would see how all of these items on this effects menu apply. So just be patient. Now bitmap. While some use it to improve the quality of their pictures, it could have numerous uses. Now this applies to pictures, text, and every other element of a design. I'll be showing you more when we start work. If you notice, most of the items or some of the items here are not active, so we cannot really use it or show what it's used for. By the time we start applying our effects, then you would see how all these things work. Now for text, we have text properties, tabs, columns, bullets, drop cap. You know what your drop cap means. The drop cap is that bigger letter, the bigger letter in a publication, maybe in a magazine. You must have seen that the first letter of an essay or an article is bigger than the remaining. Yeah, that is what a drop cap is. We're going to be using that and showing very clearly when we begin properly. Yeah, so table, we have table here. You can insert a table very quickly. You see, it's again not active because we have not started work. Now tools. For tools, we have options, customization, save setting as default, color management, etc. For Windows, you have a new window. You want to create a new window, you click on it and then you're creating a new window out of the previous window that you have. Now help, etc. This takes you online for help and every other thing that you need. Now we'll soon be going to the major tools which you must use at every point, which is at the left hand side of your Corel Draw workspace. Now this is new, Control N. This is open, this is save, this is undo. Let's say I mistakenly drew a rectangle and what I wanted to draw was a square. I wanted to draw a square, but I drew a rectangle. All I need to do is to undo takes you back. So that is what you do. And when you want to redo, you made a mistake by undoing something that you should have left, you now click on redo. It takes you forward. So this takes you backward and this forward. Yeah, so I've showed you that this is the undo tool and this is the redo tool. Now this one here is the search content, and this is the import content. Now import is used to bring things into the Corel Draw environment. For instance, a picture. Now when I click on this import, it takes me to my document files, and then let me search for a picture here. just any picture, just any random picture. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so when I get here, I could just insert this picture down here. Oh, oops. Yeah, so let's try that again. So let me get this dove down here. I'll just click. Now you see, I've imported this dove into my CorelDRAW environment. However, there are three major ways you can import a picture into the CorelDRAW environment, and I'm going to be showing you that very quickly. Now let's go to our documents where we can find our pictures. Yeah, so let me get it random, just any picture. Yes, let me use this. So this is a picture of my face, which I worked on some time ago. Now all I need to do, the number one way is to copy and paste. Now let me copy this picture. You just come here, copy the picture, and then go back to CorelDRAW, and what do? You paste it. You see, boom, and our picture is here. Now the size is quite big, so all you have to do is to zoom out and then reduce the size. So this is one way you have pictures on your CorelDRAW environment. Secondly, yeah, this also came. So secondly, you can come to the import. Search for the picture very carefully. And then yes, so we have this is the picture, and then you drop it here. Yeah, you drop the picture here. And then lastly, another way to bring pictures is by dragging. So I go to where the picture is, I minimize this, and then I simply drag the picture from where it is into the CorelDRAW environment, and boom, we have our picture here. So these are three ways to put in pictures into your CorelDRAW environment. Let's have this clean now. Yeah, so let's go back to tools. Yeah, so we stopped here. We stop at the import and the export. Now this is for your zoom. You could set it to give you a percentage of your view. So if I click on to page, it brings up my workspace. Remember, this rectangle here is an A4 sized sheet, and when you want to export your document, make sure it is within this space so that it is being projected in your work. This is for a full screen view. Remember, there's a shortcut for that, which is F9. So when I press F9, I have a full screen view like this. Now don't worry if you are not getting it at this point. Very soon I'm going to be doing practical sessions where I make designs here, and then you get to see for practice how these things work. Here are our rulers. Now the job of the ruler is to create margin. So you just click on it and drag the horizontal and vertical one. You just drag and make margins. Now what this help you to do, they help you to coordinate your work so much so that you don't design out of boundary. Now for a magazine work, you would need, or for a print job generally, you would need to have margin lines, or you could call them grid lines, that help you manage your space properly. In design, there's something called white space. That white space is a part of your design where there is no design at all, and by that I mean where there is a breathing space for your design to be expressed properly. Now as a professional designer, make sure that you have a white space on your design, no matter how small. Make sure there is a space where there is nothing there, like nothing so expressed. Make sure there's a free space. Now I'll be speaking more on white space in another video, but for now let's just get that and let's keep going. Now all these other tools are also useful depending on what you want to do part time. Now from here you can see the paper size, or the page size rather, which is A4. From here you can easily see the dimensions. Now even from here I could also change my dimensions. Let's say 400 millimeter to by 400 millimeter. That's a square. Yeah, so I could actually do that, and here we go. This is now a square. I've easily changed the dimensions to a custom dimension, And like I said before, let me change this to 500 so I explain. Or yeah, let's say 590 or so. Yeah, so I explain this other. Yeah, so I've changed the dimensions now to a custom dimensions. Now I'll show you how that the portrait and the landscape are more like a horizontal and vertical display of your page. Now, so when I click on the portrait, it gives me this elongated vertical expression like this, and when I click on the landscape rather, it gives me a horizontal outlook. Now, depending on what you are designing and depending on how you want it to appear, you either use your portrait or your landscape feature for your page expression. So going forward, you could always also change the unit from millimeters to inches to feet, etc., etc., depending on what you are designing. Now, sometimes some designs come with dimensions, so you would have to take the dimensions properly in the preferred unit and then apply it. So if you took your designs, or if you made your measurements in feet, which is mostly seen in banner designs and all those, you could just come here and type in the exact digits. Let's say we had 4 feet by, let's say, 7 feet. You just type in here and click, and you see the result expressly given here directly. And this is 4 feet by 7 feet. So it's that easy. Now I can't wait to show you what's at the left hand side of this Corel Draw environment, because that is where the real deal are. That's where the real deal are. So I will do some Ctrl Z to take me back to our A4 size sheet. Yeah, so we are back to the A4 size sheet. Now I'm going to be removing these green lines so that they don't get us distracted. We'll come back to grid lines some other time in this series, so just pay attention now we're going to the left hand side of our CorelDRAW environment, and this is this place. Yeah, here. So first off, we have one of the most important tool on our CorelDRAW environment, which is the pick tool. Now the pick tool is to select, position, or transform object. Now if you need any tool to pick a rectangle, an element of design which include text, a shape, a picture, whatever it is, from point A to point B, what you'll be needing is your pick tool. Now pick tool is that special tool which you use after using every other tool. So for instance, you want to go back to your default, you go back to your pick tool. So now here's what I'm talking about. So let's have this picture up here. Which picture are we picking? So let me pick the picture of the drum. So we have this drum here. Now it is the pick tool. When you click on your pick tool, it's the pick tool that affords me to move the picture on any part of my work. Now remember that this space is my workspace and I need it within the workspace. All I need to do is to come here and reduce the size so that the drums fall within my workspace, and you can move it to any part of your workspace. Remember, this is your workspace, this is also your workspace, but for presentation purpose, everything that you design should fall within this rectangle. Yeah, so that is that. Now also the pick tool is very important because it helps you change the existing tool you are using. So for instance, I clicked on the shape tool. Now we're coming to the shape tool. Now I click on the shape tool. The shape tool helps you to manipulate shapes, or helps you trim off, more like crop pictures, and helps you to manipulate shapes. Now let's say I was using the shape tool and I wanted to go back to the default pick tool. All I need to do is to just click on the pick tool and boom, we are here. So you go back to your pick tool. Now that is what the pick tool is all about. It's a very important tool on CorelDRAW, and you really need it. You really need it at every point of your design. Now secondly, let's go to the shape tool. Now the shape tool, like I said, helps you to manipulate shapes. Now let's draw a rectangle and then click on your shape tool. Now this helps you to have a curved edge for your rectangles, a curved edge. However, if you right click on this and click on convert to curves, it can help you manipulate the shape to any other shape that you may desire. Now you would find this really handy for your logo designs. You'd find this really important for every other manipulative shape you want to create. Can you see the different ways I am able to manipulate this shape? Yeah, so this is what your shape tool helps you to achieve. Now under the shape tool, we have other seemingly quite important tool like the smooth tool, which when applied has quite a number of effects, all aiming at manipulating shapes. Your smooth tool, see, with the smooth tool, see what I'm able to create. I'm able to create effects, different effects on this shape which is already manipulated. Let me draw another rectangle so we have different expressions. Now, so other tools include your twirl tool. This helps you to twirl. So you just click, you left click on this and you create a circular twirl on any shape. It just helps you to manipulate shapes. You could find this useful for backgrounds, for logos, and the rest, depending on what you want to achieve. Most of the time I don't use this. Now this is the attract tool, all aimed at manipulating shapes. When you click on this, it helps you to attract, to more like drag the shape and manipulate the shape to a way that you want it, depending on where you're designing. And the repel, more like the opposite of the previous one. I basically don't use these tools, so you probably might find it useful when you want to. So that is that. Under the shape tool, you just have manipulative tools that can help you tweak the way a shape looks. Let me push this to the side so that it doesn't like distract us. Now next up is our crop tool. Now we all know what the crop tool is. A crop tool is that tool that helps you to remove areas outside your selection, more like areas that are unwanted. So for instance, if I wanted to crop this drum, like removing this part of the drum, all I need to click is to click on my crop tool and then drag it this way. Now every part, you see how darker, just a little bit darker the other part is. Any part of this drum that does not fall within the white space here will be removed from the picture. So now after I've done this, all I need to do is to click on enter or press enter on my keyboard, and boom, the part of the handle of the drum have been cut out. It has been easily cropped. So that's the job of the crop tool. Now under the crop tool, we have some seemingly important tool like your knife tool. As the name implies, it is used to cut. Now this is not so applicable to the picture I have here, but you can actually use it to cut. Yeah, so we go back here. You can actually use it to cut shapes and all. Yeah, and then we have the eraser. Now what the eraser does, now let's apply this on pictures. Note the eraser tool is not applicable to pictures. It doesn't give you, it's applicable to pictures actually, sorry about that. Now the eraser tool, what the eraser does is to erase a part of a picture or a shape. Now applying the eraser tool to a shape would look like this. If I have a shape and I even fill it with the color black and I try to erase it, here's what I get. Yeah, so I'm able to erase this part just like your normal eraser. Just be able to erase this part. Sometimes, which is not advisable, you could use the eraser to remove backgrounds, but of course that will be a lot of stress and it won't go well for you. It might not be as clean as you want it. Now this is your zoom tool. You can either zoom out or you zoom in. Now an easy way to zoom out or zoom in CorelDRAW is to just drag like this. After you have clicked your plus sign, the plus zoom, that's your zoom in, you just drag it, or alternatively the minus, which is to zoom out. So yeah, so that's how it works. Very simple. Very quickly we move on to the freehand tool. The freehand tool affords you to draw lines. That's why it's called CorelDRAW. It affords you to draw any shape. Now for those who have a light pen, or for those who are able to draw. You could use this freehand. Let me take you to another page. You could use this freehand tool to just write. You could even use it to do your signatures and all. It's a freehand tool. You can just sketch and draw. Now under the freehand tool, you have the 2-point line. This is what you use to draw a line. Now to have a straight line, let me take this back so that our workspace is clear. Yeah, let me take this back so that the workspace is quite clear and easy. Let's delete the drums. Yeah, so to have a straight line, all you have to do is to come here and click on 2-point line, holding your shift and control, then drag to the right like this. See, you have a straight line. If you do not hold shift and control, you will not have a straight line. So this is what happens when I don't hold my shift and control. I have just diagonal lines or not straight line. But if you want a straight line, whether from up to down or sideways, you would have to hold your shift and control and then drag down like this. Yeah, you see, that's a perfect straight line. Or you drag sideways horizontally like this. Yeah, so thank you very much, you're welcome. Yeah, so we go up to the next. We have the bezier tool. The bezier tool is very important for me, and I really love this tool because with the bezier tool I'm able to trace whatsoever I have drawn or sketch on my notepad. So recently I opted to making shirt designs and sometimes even logos from my sketch work. So I sketch a design or I sketch something on my notepad. I snap it, I take a picture of it, and then transfer it into my computer and then sketch. Just follow carefully, and I follow carefully, and I follow carefully. Time will not permit me now to look for a sketch I have on my system to show you, but of course when we start designing I'll show you some of these things. So with your bezier tool you can easily construct or create anything that you want. Let me make a letter J. Forget about the fact that the edges are quite straight. You can always edit it into a curve. So what we have here is a J, which I have used my bezier tool. Okay, that was a mistake. Which I have used my bezier tool to construct. So let me do that again. Let me highlight everything and delete. Okay, delete here, so we have a clear space. So with my bezier tool, I come here. I can easily create a letter J. Yeah, like I said earlier, forget about straight edges. You can always make them curve if you like. Yeah, so this is somewhat like a J. In fact, this is a J. Yeah, which you can always edit. So that's the work of the bezier tool. Now let's go under that. We have the pen tool, which of course afford you the opportunity to be able to make curves and lines and all. Now Corel Draw is a very powerful tool. Architects, artists use a lot of people use Corel Draw to achieve many things. Artists use it, architects use it, designers use it, and then a lot of people use Corel Draw to achieve different things. So you could have a curve from these lines. Yeah, so let's go to the next under our shape tools. Yeah, so we have the B spine. The B spine, which can help you with curves line, which are graciously dimensioned. So like I said, you could achieve a lot with Corel Draw. Yeah, so let's have that out by clicking on our okay. So basically that's that. Take me back to the workspace, and we can go from there. So sorry about that. So let's delete this for a clear space. Delete this also. Delete this. Now next up under our shape tool would be the polyline, 3-point curve, smart joints, etc. They are all line tools which can help to actually create lines, create shapes, and then do everything that you want to do with your free hand or with a sketch from your notepad. So quickly, let's go to the artistic media tool. Now this is like a brush or the spray kind of tool. It helps you add a spray, a brush, or a calligraphic effect. Now let me click it and show you how it works. So you see what comes to mind is swatch, right? No. Yeah, so this is more like a brush kind of tool which you can use to paint depending on the size you pick. You can use this to actually do a painting. Yeah, so when we start properly, you'd get how this works. Of course, remember you can recolor this at every point. So quickly, let's go down to let me delete this now. Let's go down to the rectangle tool. Now you remember I've clicked this before. Now rectangle tool affords you to draw squares or rectangles. Now when I click on that, all I need to do is just drag on the workspace and I have a rectangle. I have a perfect rectangle. However, if you want a square, remember a square has equal sides, that is equal length and equal breadth. If you want a perfect square, all you have to do is to click or to hold shift and control on your keyboard and then drag. All you have now is a perfect square. No matter the size, it's a perfect square. And mind you, if you want it to remain a square and you want to make it bigger, let's say you want to make this small one bigger, you don't drag it from here. If you drag it from here, what you have is a rectangle. You drag it from this edge, either here or here or here or here. These 4 edges. Do not drag here, do not drag here, do not drag here, do not drag from here. And when you click on this second time, you have the opportunity to turn your square any direction that you want. From this angle you can turn it like this. Yeah, you can just keep turning it and manipulating your rectangle however you want. Yeah, so that is that. Now for this eclipse tool, which is shortcut for F7, when you click on it, you'll be able to draw any kind of eclipse that you want. You could do an oval, you could have an egg-like shape, you could have ovals, any shape that you like. However, if you want a perfect cycle, like the square, all you have to do is to hold your shift and control and drag like this. This is a perfect cycle, very perfect cycle. Yeah, it's a very perfect cycle that we have here. So that is that. And then very importantly is our text tool. Now under the square we also have 3-point rectangle. We also does the job of coming up with the rectangle, but won't be looking at that now. We have the 3-point eclipse tool, which also have the same feature of helping you draw the circles, semicircles, and the rest. Now you can try that out. Now we have the polygon tool. Under the polygon tool, there are many things you can actually insert here. We have polygons of all sizes. Now this is a perfect polygon because I held my shift and control. If you want a perfect shape while you are dragging, just hold your shift and control and to give you a perfect shape. Now this is a polygon of 5 sides, and if I want a polygon of 6 sides, I can just come here and click on up and I have a polygon of 6 sides. If I want a polygon of 10 sides, I can just come here and type 10. When I type 10, it will give me the polygon of 10 sides. If I want a polygon of 9 sides, give me a polygon and press enter to give me a polygon of 9 sides. Now that is that. Under here we also have star. Quickly you can just drag and you have a perfect star. Clicking, holding your shift and control. Also we also have a complex star, and then we have a graph paper. Now all these are tools you can easily use to come up with tables, graphs, stars, polygons, and the rest. So instead of constructing it or trying to draw it out, you can just come here and have it. Now these are flow chart shapes that can help you in your design work. Maybe you are trying to design an infographics, a portfolio or something that would require some reshapes. You could easily just get them from this place. Now lastly, on this video I'm going to be showing you the text tool, very important tool on CorelDRAW. The text tool. Now the text tool affords you to be able to type. Now let me type T. Remember we're working on the T logo, so T. Now I'm able to type whatsoever I want on my CorelDRAW. Now let me type the word teeth. So we have teeth. So you can type anything you want on your using your text tool, using your text tool. Yeah, so that is that for the text. Now if I want to change this font, I easily just come here and then pick a font. If I want heavy tat, I just pick heavy tat, or any font. If it's black post, I just pick whatsoever font you want. You can easily change it from here. So let's pick heavy tat. Now you can also change the color of your text. You can also increase the size from here or increase it from this place. Now do not increase your text size from here. See what you will get. You get a stretch text, and your text won't be looking like what it should look like anymore. Now let's undo that. Do not increase your text from here. Do not make it longer from here. Please do not. If you want a text this long, they are custom made fonts which have an elongated length that you can easily use. For instance, an alternative for these will be Bebas. Bebas is naturally long vertically, so you can easily use that. Yeah. Now the 4 ways to make a text bigger is from here, or here. Now see this, I'm making the text bigger without altering the form of the text, so it just comes out perfectly. Now there are other features which I'll be showing you on CorelDRAW. Now while you expect the next video, I'll be ready to answer your questions on this part of the video. While you watch this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I love you guys. See you in my next video. My name is Victor, DesignKing. Thank you very much.